Sadika, good morning and welcome to Newsline. It's Monday, December 16, 2013. I'm Chalapanza Narula. Thanks for joining us. In today's main stories, most Reform Forum participants voiced their support for the general election. And in the business news, diesel price will be maintained at under 30 baht per litre until the first quarter of 2014. But now let's have a look at today's headlines. His Majesty the King observed the progress of the Chang Hua Man Agricultural Development Project in Tha Yang District of Phetchaburi Province. His Majesty particularly visited the dairy section where he fed milk to a 25-day-old Holstein Friesian calf and fed grass to a number of milk cows. Usually, a milk cow gives 9 to 13 kilograms of milk daily. This farm presently produces 150 kilograms of milk per day, which is sold to a milk cow cooperative in nearby Cham district, where the milk is processed into pasteurized milk. Milk packets are then distributed under the school milk project of the government. Dairy farming at the Chang Hua Man project is different from other farms in that its cows are allowed to roam and graze freely on pasture after giving milk, in concern for the animals' welfare. In a more intensive farm, dairy cows are housed indoors to keep the cows' energy. The Chang Hua Man farm has plans to increase the number of its milk cows and build a factory to produce pasteurized and sterilized milk in its compounds in January 2014, with a budget of 60 million baht already confirmed by Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. Under the expansion project, farmers in nearby areas will be encouraged to raise more cows to help increase the supply of raw milk to 10 tons a day. The Southern Milk Cow Cooperative has already presented 14 more dairy cows to the project, which is intended to serve as a demonstration farm for interested agriculturists to study the techniques for use at their own farms. His Majesty the King has established the Chang Hua Man project to be a study center for economic crop cultivation and livestock culture. Since its establishment, the project has been visited by many groups of agriculturists, students, and the general public. People living in the area also benefit from better communication, electricity, and water resources brought by the project. Since the establishment of the project in 2010, His Majesty has visited the project constantly to monitor its progress. The Reform Forum organized by the government on Sunday concluded that a reform should take place in many fields, while most of the participants agreed the 2nd February elections were a democratic solution to the ongoing political crisis. Permanent Secretary for the Prime Minister's Office, Kun Thong Thong Jantarangsu, said that after the Reform Forum, that the participants wanted to see both short and long-term reforms, not only in politics but also in the economy, corruption prevention, decentralization, and inequality reduction. Most of them voiced support for the polls on the 2nd of February. The official stated further that the Permanent Secretary for Defense had informed the forum that the military was ready to work with the Election Commission and all sectors in arranging a free and fair election. As for the routes for an overhaul, Mr. Thong Thong said the forum participants had not yet reached an agreement on the matter, but asked the Prime Minister's office to help set up a network for Thailand reform. The Permanent Secretary added that the next round of talks had not yet been scheduled, while noting that the forum on Sunday was a good sign for the country. And the Deputy Prime Minister is preparing a report on the recent Thai Political Reform Forum for distribution to the public, while analysts recommended that a public referendum be organized to decide whether the general elections should be held on February 2nd next year or not. Mr. Pongthep Kanchana, the Deputy Prime Minister, revealed that after opinions were collected from a political reform forum, the results of the forum will be disseminated to the public through a report approved by the Prime Minister. He said that the forum indicates that all sides agree that the general elections should be held on February 2nd next year, with political reforms following the elections. He said that all political parties should pledge to immediately reform the nation if they are elected to become the government. Meanwhile, Mr. Weerapat Priyawong, an independent legal analyst, proposed that a public referendum should be held to ask citizens whether the general elections should be held on February 2nd or whether the elections should be rescheduled. And the European Union, or EU, and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, have sent messages to the Thai government expressing their concerns over Thailand's current political deadlock. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations is truly concerned over Thailand's political deadlocks. According to ASEAN official messages sent to the government on Saturday, the heads of state and governments of ASEAN member states have been closely following the current development in the Kingdom of Thailand. The ASEAN member countries wish to reiterate that political stability in the kingdom is essential in achieving a peaceful, stable, and prosperous ASEAN community. Thus, the governments of ASEAN nations are calling on all parties concerned to resolve the current situation through dialogue and consultations in a peaceful and democratic manner. Meanwhile, Catherine Ashton, the European Union High Representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs, has called on all sides in Thailand to abide by democracy principles. The comment was made by Ms. Ashton's spokesperson, who was referring to the current ongoing instability in Thailand. According to the spokesperson, Ms. Ashton's concerns rose following her visit to Thailand on November 13th and several other incidents that have since unfolded. The EU High Representative said all parties should abide by democratic principles in order to avoid escalation of violence and to resolve their differences through peaceful means. Ashton has called on everyone involved to seize the opportunity of the February 2nd general election to move forward peacefully within Thailand's democratic and constitutional framework. And sentiments in the strife-torn southern Thailand have continuously improved. The trend for next year is strongly in the positive territory as well. The confidence index for trade and investment in the three southern provinces of Pattani, Yala, and Narathiwat for October was at 44.1, which showed much improved sentiment when compared to the 37.8 reported for September and 34.4 for the month of August. The index was first conducted by the Commerce Ministry and the Southern Border Provinces Administrative Centre in May of 2013. The reading for the past 6 months have shown steadily improving sentiments of business entrepreneurs in the three provinces that have been plagued by violence for over a decade. The Sixth Confidence Index survey was conducted among 615 businesses with questions on 5 issues, including local or regional economy, operating results, expansion, employment, and the overall situation. Each aspect was equally weighted. Southern businesses expect improvement in overall trade and investment climate, as indicated by the Economic Confidence Index of 41.5 in October versus the 41% indicated in the preceding month, and the Public Safety or Stability Confidence Index of 42.4 versus the preceding month's 34.6. The Department of Land Transport is preparing to elevate transport safety measures for transporting hazardous materials in the nation ahead of the ASEAN Economic Community. Mr. Wattana Pattarachon, the Deputy Director General of the Department of Land Transport, has hosted a seminar on safe transportation of hazardous material in order to elevate safety standards in transporting the said materials and to reduce risks from road accidents involving hazardous materials in the nation. The seminar also aimed to improve the management of the transportation of hazardous materials. According to Mr. Wattana, transport associations, clubs and business operators will jointly derive safety measures to reduce risks of accident and to transfer knowledge to drivers. Currently, there are 4,100 companies and 15,000 vehicles involved in transporting hazardous materials nationwide, and safety measures are necessary for those business operators ahead of Thailand's entry into the ASEAN Economic Community in 2015. Mahasarakham Province has held the Thai Buffalo Forward ASEAN event and launched the Beef Cattle Production Development Project. The Mahasarakham Department of Livestock Development has joined hands with related agencies to hold the first Thai buffalo toward ASEAN to encourage farmers to raise more buffaloes. According to statistics, the province had 38,083 water buffaloes in 2010. The number was reduced to 26,235 in 2013. Many farmers lack motivation to raise the buffaloes, which led to the slaughtering of many buffaloes, while some were sold to farmers in neighboring countries. In the meantime, the province also launched a project to promote beef cattle raising. Mahasarakam is one of 25 provinces in Thailand under the beef cattle raising zones. Around 30,000 farmer families in Thailand area raising around 120,000 beef cattle. The province ranked number 10 in the number of cows. The Department of Livestock Development is supporting the comprehensive beef cattle raising here by targeting farmers in 108 tambons. It motivated the farmers to produce good quality of beef and aim to produce 20,000 cows per year. The department also expected to see around 8,000 to 10,000 calves a year, although altogether the livestock should be worth at least 120 to 150 million baht per year. We'll now take a break. One of Thailand's top winter destinations has nearly been booked up for this New Year holiday. Newsline will return with that news and many more. Stay with us.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Now to the business news. The Kasikorn Research Center expects the baht to be traded at 31.9 to 32.3 baht per US dollars this week. The Care Research forecast is based on the result of the U.S. Federal Reserve's Federal Open Market Committee meeting, or the FOMC meeting, which will be held on December 17th and 18th. The United States key economic figures being discussed in the meeting include New York's Fed Production Survey, Philadelphia's Fed Business Survey, December's Real Estate Market Index, Consumer Index, second-hand home sales, home construction figures, the number of construction approvals, November's Economic and Industrial Production Indices, October capital flow reports, and the third quarter GDP, as well as the number of weekly unemployment claims. And diesel price will be maintained at under 30 baht per litre until the first quarter of 2014, thanks to the dissolution of Parliament. According to the Energy Ministry, the dissolution of Parliament has automatically put on hold the planned energy price increase policy, which includes the restructuring of natural gas and electricity prices and the implementation of Power Development Plan, also known as PDP, all of which will have to be considered and decided by the next government. Diesel will, however, remain pegged at less than 30 baht per litre until the end of the first quarter of next year. Liquefied petroleum gas will be adjusted up 50 satang per kilogram each month until the price reaches 24.82 baht per kilogram. That's up from the present 20.3 baht, in line with its production cost. Thailand's economy has been on the descending path even without the protest in the capital. That is according to the Thai Chamber of Commerce. According to the Vice President of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, Vichai Asarasakon, the current state of national economy is fragile and the government has yet to address that problem. Unless the government is able to ease the ongoing intense political tension, the overall economic performance will be affected. The situation would be even worse should the general election be postponed or cancelled. The private sectors, however, agreed that there needed to be a political reform before the general election took place, but the changes must conform to the constitutional monarchy approach. Mr. Vichai also said that the 7 private organizations stood firm against corruption. And hotel businesses are looking good, especially in Khao Yai, one of Thailand's top winter destinations, which has nearly been booked up for this New Year holiday. With its wonderful weather and scenery, Khao Yai is the most popular destination during winter. People can enjoy the beautiful nature, mountains, waterfalls, and many Italian-style shopping complexes and hotels. The resorts and hotels in Wang Nam Kieo and Pak Chong, which are parts of Khao Yai, are mostly fully booked up for weekends, while the rooms are about 50 to 60% booked up during weekdays. Nakhon Ratchasima Tourist Business Association President Samer Jindapong expected that this 5-day New Year holiday, all rooms will be fully booked soon. He said hotels in Wang Nam Kieo can take up to 32,000 tourists, while those in Pak Chong can take up to 45,000 people. Huge crowds at tourist spots are highly anticipated. Mr. Samer said with an estimated expense of 1,500 baht per person, if hotels are 100% reserved, the tourism sector in the area could enjoy around 500 million baht in circulation during the new year. Thai stocks ended at a 14-week low last Friday as the domestic political deadlock spurred fund outflows, while Indonesian shares faltered due to weakness in the rupiah and on worries over U.S. stimulus tapering. The Thai SCT index was down 1.1% at 1,341.13 points on Friday, the lowest close since September 6, with selling most active in large caps and telecom shares such as Advanced Info Service or AIS and also PDT. The benchmark dropped 1.5% on the week with a year-to-date loss of 3.7%, making it Asia's second worst performer. Foreign investors were net sellers of 3.5 billion baht on Friday, taking their redemptions since November to around $2.5 billion and nearly $6 billion so far this year, much larger than in many neighboring markets. And now let's have a quick look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
Pak เมื่อไหร่เราจะได้ข้าวเยอะๆสำหรับเลี้ยงครอบครัวเราล่ะป้า
ไม่ต้องกังวลแล้วนะครับอันนี้คือข้าวเมล็ดพันธุ์ดีปลอดสารพิษตามพระราชดำริของพระองค์ท่านเพื่อฟื้นฟูนาล้างและเพิ่มศักยภาพของพื้นที่นาเดิมให้ได้ผลผลิตมากขึ้นนะครับ
เข้าใจเข้าถึงพัฒนา My Idol คนต้นแบบจังหวัดชายแดนภาคใต้โครงการประชาสัมพันธ์สนับสนุนการแก้ไขปัญหาในพื้นที่จังหวัดชายแดนภาคใต้กรมประชาสัมพันธ์
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back to Newsline. The Department of Development of Thai Traditional and Alternative Medicine under the Public Health Ministry is prepared to expand market centres for Thai herbs to cover 4 regions of Thailand. The department is currently setting up the market centres for herbal products. It is hoped that there will be at least 4 centres in 4 regions of Thailand within 2 years. For the central region, the centre will be located at the Department of Development of Thai Traditional and Alternative Medicine, that is the Public Health Ministry, in Nonthaburi. The centre in the north will be at Ma Chau University of Chiang Mai. The centre in the northeast is expected to locate at Ubon Ratchathani and Mahasarakham, and Surat Thani will house the centre for the south. The department believed that once the centres are set up, the nation could reduce the amount of herbs being imported, which is currently worth more than 10 billion baht per year. The Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, or DDPM, has announced improvement of the flood situation in 10 southern provinces, whereas 6 northern provinces have been declared disaster zones due to the drops in temperature. The ongoing heavy rain has continued to batter the south since November 21st, causing flash floods and river bursting its banks in 12 provinces. 20 deaths have been reported so far, with the highest number of 6 deaths reported in Nakhon Si Thammarat province. Currently, flooding situation in 10 provinces in the south has eased, with the other 2 provinces of Pathalung and Trang still being under inundation. More than 6,000 people have been affected by the ongoing floods. Up north, 6 provinces have seen continuous drop in the mercury since December 6. These provinces are Loi, Tak, Nan, Chiang Mai, Nakhon Phanom and Nong Bua Lampu, with over 1.3 million people under the cold spell. The DDPM has ordered local authorities to prepare for severe temperature drop, as well as to prevent local residents from gusting wind during this time of the year. The Thai swimming team has earned 2 gold medals from the 27th SEA Games in Naypyidaw, Myanmar. On the 4th day of the swimming tournament, Thailand entered to contest for 6 gold medals, but could earn 2. James Bond Nathapong Gate-in snatched the gold medal from men's 200 meters breaststroke. He was timed 2 minutes and 13.32 seconds. Another gold medal went to Nathanan Jantrakajang in the women's 200 meters freestyle category. She took 2 minutes and 1.03 seconds. This is the 3rd gold medal for Thailand in the SEA Games. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you want to send in your comments or suggestions, please do. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. And we're going to say goodbye, taking you to the Jaeson Hot Springs in Lampang Province, where the water temperature is high enough to boil eggs, but that would take about 17 minutes. So let's have a look. I'm Cholapansar Narula. Have a good one. Sawasdee ka. Red kangaroos from Australia, Cayman crocodiles from Africa, golden pythons, badgers, binturongs, and many others. The zoo organizers expected the new animals to draw in more domestic tourists and those from neighboring countries during the New Year holidays and throughout next year. And world #1 tennis player Serena Williams and world #2 Victor Azarenka will face each other in an exhibition match in Hua Hin. Lawn Tennis Association of Thailand President Suwat Liptaphalop announced that Thailand would host a very special tennis match in Hua Hin World Tennis Invitation on December 28th. The players to see action would be the world's top 2 female tennis players. Ms. Azarenka has twice played exhibition matches here, while this will be Miss Williams' first appearance at the event. This match will be held at Intercontinental Hotel in Hua Hin. Fans can get tickets at www.thaiticketmajor.com or simply call 02-262-3838. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. And we'll be saying goodbye today with the beautiful fireworks that you saw earlier in the news from the International Fireworks Festival 2013. I'm Chalapansana Rula. See you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ